Oklahoma City on that note. That's where LeBron and the Lakers, they ran into a bit of a thunderstorm here against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. So here is how this one looked. Here's how it went down here. We're talking about stage one of this for OKC. It's all about Chet Holmgren, Shanae.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people really were like, okay, without J-Dub, how is this team going to step up? Well, we know they're deep, but when you get production from Chet Holmgren like this, who had 18 points in the first half, he averaged 17 in the first round series versus Suns. This team, they're deeper than what, Perk?
The Pacific Ocean.
Thank you.
And how deep is the Pacific Ocean? One day we're going to Google it. All right. And then there was the getting out of double teams here for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There were some Thunder turnovers, but OKC shot 8 of 13, including 3 of 4 from long range when Shai was doubled. So here's Shai when he was asked about adapting to those looks.
As the game goes on, like, you understand more so like how they're rotating around it, and like what we like spacing we can have behind it to give ourselves the best opportunity to have an advantage. My teammates on the back end playing 4-on-3 is it's what you play for. Every play starts for us to create an advantage.
And then here, Wendy, the third and final stage for OKC, because the Lakers did push them at points in this. It was finding some roles for guys like A.J. Mitchell. Nice moves here. Puts a nice little floater in the lane.
And who else?
Well, there was A.J. Mitchell. There was Jared McCain.
Back-to-back threes, baby.
They came at you.
This little thing is catching on like wildfire, his little three-point.
Yeah, I know.
Mitchell and McCain, they combined for 30 points in their 43 minutes. OKC ran away with game one in the second half here. And this just in, Luka Doncic, he actually spoke with reporters today for the first time since suffering his hamstring injury.
And have you ramped up at all to running or any on-court contact stuff?
Yeah, I'm running. Right now I'm running, but I haven't done any contact. I haven't been clear yet to do any contact. Yeah, I went to Spain to do PRP, and you know, it's obviously, I think everybody knows that's in this, that it's one of the best countries to do that. And obviously, you know, we talked with the Lakers doctors, so everybody agree. For me to go there, why I was in space so long is because I needed 4 days in between every shot, so I did it 4 times, so that's why I stay longer. It's very frustrating. I don't think people understand how frustrating it is. You know, all I want to do is play basketball, especially in this time. It's the best time to play basketball. It's very frustrating, but you know, seeing what my team is doing, I'm very proud of them.
So it's interesting. On the one hand, you would think, okay, is Luka talking because he's getting closer to returning? But on the other hand, it doesn't really seem like he's close.
He said, and this was the first time this has been said that I'm aware of, that when the doctors saw the MRI, they said it's 8 weeks.
Right.
That it's been 4 weeks-ish. So, I mean, maybe he's ahead of that timeline, but that is not somebody who looks like they're coming back in this series.
So they can't necessarily rely on the fact that they're going to get Luka Doncic back here, Perk. So in order to climb back into the series, because there's time you looked up and this was a 2-point game yesterday, what do the Lakers need to do?
Well, LeBron needs help offensively. They scored 90 points. Let's be real. He talked about it post-game and talked about, yeah, we're missing Luka, obviously, but you still got Austin Reeves. And anybody seen him? Can somebody tell them that the playoffs has officially started?
So let's talk about Austin. Did you know, Perk, that Austin has never had a 25-point game in the playoffs?
No,
ever,
I didn't.
In his postseason career. The most he's had is 23.
And what's crazy is the time is now. He is auditioning. Like, I questioned during the regular season, and I asked y'all, we were up here, and I said, if you're the Lakers, do you build around Luka and Austin Reeves? Are they your future? Can those two guys get you to the promised land? I don't want to take a dollar out of Austin's pocket. He had a phenomenal year. But the postseason is the time that you rise to the occasion and show what you're capable of, and he's not getting it done.
Yeah, and I also want to give a little deference to the fact that he is still working his way back from injury. But if I'm J.J. Redick and I look at the box score, I'm like, ooh, those 17 turnovers, those unforced errors that were converted for, I think, 31 points. Ooh, there's no way in hell, respectfully, that Austin Reeves is going to go 3 for 16 again. He's too good of a player to shoot that poorly. And then last but not least, you got that surprise factor from Luke Kennard and those other guys that were support. Like, it felt like you wasted a LeBron James vintage game because it's going to be hard for him to get that type of production moving forward.
Yeah, last round, the big thing was Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart really were able to hit those shots to help out LeBron. Last night, you throw in Austin Reeves with those two guys. Guys, it's 8 of 35 with 8 turnovers for those 3 guys. And look, I'm not saying that I'm expecting them to all go out there and score 25. But if you're going to pull this upset off, you need some help from guys like that.
And they got a little help from OKC because Shea was human.
Yeah.
He's normally a superhero, averaging 30. He only had 18 points.
But let's be real. I don't expect much out of Marcus Smart and Luka because you are going against
Luke Kennard,
excuse me. You are going against one of the greatest defensive teams that we've ever seen.
Sure.
But Austin Reeves, if you're him, if you're one of those guys that's going to be a maxed out guy, a franchise guy, damn it, you got to show up and show out.
But without J-Dub, that's what allowed LeBron James to get that loose, and the fact that it's LeBron James. Without J-Dub on the other side, I'm not sure that OKC has an answer for him in particular if he can just get a little bit of help. But you know what we know? That J.J. Redick, he's not going to let those guys go. You're going to hear a very quick whistle and calling a timeout. He called so many timeouts.
And then he stomps out.
Stomps out on the court and says, "No, we're not doing this like that."
Outrageous.
Right. In the East, that's what the Cavs are doing in this series. They're taking their time. They're easing in. And
you look at my turnovers, and a lot of them were just on me, and nothing they did. So, and which led to I don't even know how many transition points they had, but it was way too many. And I mean, if I had to put my print on one thing on the game, that's the game right there. I mean, how many points they had in transition? How far turnovers?
20,
There you
31.
go. That's the game. Like, it's nothing else.
it's good to have a teammate that has your back, checking the stat sheet there. Turnover is definitely, though, becoming a little bit of a concern here for Cleveland, right? At least 15 turnovers in their last 6 games. That's their longest streak this season and the longest in franchise postseason history. So you feel this over here, what's happening in Cavs corner? Let's just check in, a temperature check. What are you seeing from Donovan Mitchell?
Well, the last 6 games for Harden and Mitchell has been unacceptable. The Cavs have lost 4 of them. And when you look at their stats, those 6 games, and by the way, the 2 that they won, they came back on. They were able to get back. But they're shooting 40%. Donovan's got 12 free throws in that 6 games. That's just not getting it done. Mm-hmm. And between them, they have 51 turnovers. Like, this is the playoffs. This is where you're supposed to make a difference. This was a tie game with 5 minutes to play,
right? And
it was the Pistons players and stars that outplayed the Cavs stars down the stretch.
Well, this happens with James Harden, right? This is the 29th game in postseason history for him where he's had more turnovers than he has field goals, Perk. But I know for you, this was about the big fella.
No, but hold on one second. Put him on the bench. At what point is
Easy.
No.
No, you know what? What? If he wasn't a Hall of Famer, he would have gotten benched. But he stuck with him, and he did play a little bit better.
It's enough of this sticking with him, right? We go come with facts over feelings. The fact of the matter is that he's turning the ball over, and he's still not that great defensively. That closing lineup that they had, especially in the backcourt around the perimeter yesterday, wasn't going to cut it. You had Max Strus, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden. When you got Ellis, you got Jalen Tyson, you got Dennis Schroeder. One of those guys got to go to the bench, and one of those guys got to come in. At the end of the game, we saw it. Tobias Harris, Cade, they just started attacking the basket because there wasn't no force. You need perimeter defense. If I'm Kenny Atkinson, going into game 2, I'm not just going to have that level of tolerance for James Harden and his damn turnovers. What's wrong?
No, there's nothing wrong. The reason why I say is keep a cool booty before we're saying bench James Harden.
No, I said start him.
But then get other people going because Dennis Schroeder actually came in and gave really good minutes, energetic minutes.
So did Strus.
But to me, the key here is that James Harden has to be on the floor and not turn over the ball. Because when James Harden turns over the ball, guess who has horrible games? Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Jared Allen only had 2 points. Mobley had 14, which is solid.
But foul trouble.
Yeah, exactly. But in my opinion, anytime you see bad turnover games for James Harden, you can make a correlation to lack of production from their post.
Yeah, but
he has to be on the floor.
But it shouldn't affect the other end. And the way that Jalen Duren was punking both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen is
so that's
unacceptable.
not James's fault. It's more so the post player's fault.
But again, Evan Mobley is still the most important player on this team and in this series. He's going to have to own this matchup. He's going to have to make up for that lack of perimeter defense. Didn't he just win Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But show it. He came into the game with 4 minutes to go. Right, in the fourth quarter. He checked in, and he shot a three soon as he got in. And you know what Jalen Duren did? The Detroit Pistons got the rebound. He went deep-sealed Evan Mobley and turned around and snatched the screws out the rim. And I'm sitting up here saying, well, damn, bro, at what point are you going to play with some force and some damn pride?
Well, I will say this. Most players in Harden's shoes were coached by their coach. He stuck with them. Kenny Atkinson stuck with them, and he did lead an 11-0 run. But then they didn't finish.
This right here were the winning plays because Duren, he had 11 points, 12 rebounds, I think 4 assists, but these are the plays that actually won them the game. You just saw the block on one end, and then on the other side, this is where he got the opportunities. Cade, he can drop 40, but instead what makes him great is the fact that he can drop assists in a timely nature and get his teammates going.
But also, look how easy Cade is getting to the paint. But here's the deep seal right here. Just little boy, though. Grown man. Wendy, this is what I'm talking about.
Kenny Atkinson put Evan Mobley in with 4 minutes left.
Yep.
After that, it went downhill. But if you're going to go down, you're going to go down with Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell. That's why they went down.
Hey, but can I like make this a little bit more positive? Are you okay?
No.
Because I want to tell you something good though.
What?
Because the big question has been who is going to step up. Duren has had good moments, right, but not consistency. When's the first time you accepted being called auntie? It was recent for me. They called Tobias Harris uncle.
Still have not.
And he has. I'm cool with being auntie. Tobias Harris is excellent right now as a number 2.